Hey everyone, and welcome back to our channel. Today we're re-diving into one of the most beloved fairy tales of all time, the story of Cinderella. Once upon a time, in a faraway kingdom, lived a beautiful and kind-hearted girl named Cinderella. After her father passed away, she was left in the care of her cruel stepmother and two selfish stepsisters. They were jealous of her charm and made her work as a servant in her own home. From sunrise to sunset, Cinderella cleaned, cooked, and washed, while her stepsisters did nothing but complain. Despite her hard life, Cinderella remained hopeful and always treated everyone with kindness. One day, a royal messenger arrived with an exciting announcement. The king was hosting a grand ball. The prince would be there to choose his future bride, and every eligible young woman in the kingdom was invited. Cinderella's stepsisters were ecstatic and immediately began planning their fancy outfits. Cinderella worked tirelessly to help them get ready, hoping she could go to "Stepmother, may I please go to the ball?" she asked gently. But her stepmother just laughed. "You, in those rags, don't be ridiculous." Heartbroken, Cinderella watched them leave in their carriage, her dreams completely shattered. Alone in the garden, Cinderella began to cry. Suddenly, a gentle light shimmered and a kind-looking woman appeared. It was her fairy godmother. "Don't you worry, my dear," she said with a warm smile. "You shall go to the ball." With a flick of her magic wand, she transformed a pumpkin into a magnificent golden carriage and 6 little mice into 6 white horses. Then she waved her wand over Cinderella, and her tattered dress turned into a breathtaking blue gown, with a pair of delicate glass slippers on her feet. But be warned, the fairy godmother said the magic will only last until midnight. You must be home by then. When Cinderella arrived at the palace, everyone turned to stare. She was so stunningly beautiful that no one, not even her own stepsisters, recognized her. The moment the prince saw her, he was completely captivated. He asked her to dance, and they spent the entire evening together, falling deeply in love. They were so lost in the moment that they didn't notice the time. But as the clock began to strike 12, Cinderella remembered her godmother's warning. "I have to go," she exclaimed, and rushed out of the ballroom. In her haste, she lost one of her glass slippers on the grand staircase. The next day, the prince, determined to find the mysterious girl he'd fallen for, began a search across the entire kingdom. He vowed to marry the one whose foot fit the tiny glass slipper. He went from house to house, but the slipper fit no one. Finally, he arrived at Cinderella's home. The stepsisters tried desperately to squeeze their feet into the slipper, but it was impossible. Then Cinderella shyly asked, "May I try?" Her stepmother scoffed, but the prince insisted, and, of course, the slipper fit her perfectly. To everyone's astonishment, Cinderella then pulled the matching slipper from her pocket. The prince's search was over. Cinderella and the prince were soon married in a grand ceremony. She forgave her stepmother and stepsisters for their cruelty, showing her true grace. And so they lived happily ever after, proving that kindness and courage will always triumph in the end. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this classic tale, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more stories. See you next time.